Hi, I'm Wyatt.
And I'm Grace.
And you're listening to our dad and your host of the Vacation Rental Revolution podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Odyssey Vacation Rental Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Shawn Moore, and I am excited to be here with you today. This is one of our solo episodes. They're going to be short, sweet, to the point on a topic and a question, kind of that age-old debate we're going to talk about today on what is more important, experience or knowledge. And so do you want book smarts or do you want street smarts? And so in my opinion, they're both very important. But if it comes down to it, I'm going to go with experience any day, because while knowledge is super important, you have to have knowledge, right? The knowledge is going to give you that foundation upon which everything is built. And so you can build that experience. But the thing with knowledge is everywhere. There's nothing new under the sun. And we have almost too much information, too much knowledge now. And sometimes it's difficult to sort through it, especially with all this AI and everything else out there. What we do here at Odyssey, we're coaches and mentors, but people aren't paying us for the big secrets that we have as far as the knowledge. They pay us to make sure that maybe they don't know what they don't know, and we're going to teach them some new things possibly, but everything we teach, they can find on their own. The reason people pay us is because of our experience, so that they can implement what they're doing sooner and faster and accelerate their progress, right? Experience is that hands-on, in the trenches learning that allows you to identify those potential issues before they become problems, right? If you've been down the road a time or two and you know behind the corner there's a big dragon, and I'm now prepared for that dragon and I have the right tools and weapons to defeat the dragon, then I'm not as scared about going around the corner. And that's because of my experience, right? Experience enables us to make decisions based on real life situations because we've been through something before. Now, it also allows us to identify patterns and trends, right? We're going into a market shift right now. Do you want to take advice from somebody that has theoretical knowledge or knowledge on how to navigate a shift? Or do you want to take advice on somebody that's been through a shift or two, right? Obviously, we want to take advice from people who've been through and seen some shifts. So that experience is invaluable. And that's not something that can be thrown up online, made up in a book that somebody writes. That knowledge is okay. We have to have the knowledge. Surgeons go to school to learn how to do all these different things. But do you want to go to a brain surgeon that has done 10,000 brain surgeries, or do you want one that has been fresh out of medical school and has only done 2 brain surgeries? I'm going with the guy that's done 10,000 surgeries. Maybe the new surgeon has learned even some new techniques and has more knowledge, book knowledge, than the old surgeon. But when I'm going in for surgery on my brain, I'm going to the guy that's done 10,000 surgeries, right? Experience trumps knowledge, in my opinion, all day, every day. Not that knowledge is not important. It's the foundation upon which we build all those experiences. But knowledge can be found everywhere. And anybody that acts like they have something secret and you're going to have their exact knowledge to do anything, that's one of the biggest lies out there. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything that we have inside of our big master class that people pay us a lot of money to be a part of, that's not the exact knowledge that they're paying for. They can go find that stuff. They're paying us again to implement and accelerate their progress. And so I have a story and why this is important for you right now, especially with all the AI popping up and everything else. I'm not going to name names. I'm going to change the story just a bit so that you can't really kind of figure out who this is, because this was a good person with good intentions. But there was a successful investor that we'll say, and who has done a lot of different real estate investing, has built up a kind of a following on social media, following on YouTube, started to build a newsletter about real estate investing. And he had a lot of people asking him about short-term rental investing. So he thought, well, this is a hot topic right now. And so I'm going to kind of tap into this trend, and I'm going to go, and he went to ChatGPT, and went in and decided, okay, I'm going to write a book and have it help me write a book on short-term rental investing. And so he went in and he said it took him 3 hours to write this book on short-term rental investing. And he put it out to his group, and the group, he said he had an overwhelming response. And all these people reached out to him, said, hey, this sounds great. I want to do this. And he has a paid group that people can be a part of. And so they reached out for him to help them implement the knowledge in the book. Well, to his credit, he said, hey, listen, that's not what I do. I have no experience in this. I got this knowledge online with an AI tool. And so he looked and found me and reached out to me and said, hey, Shawn, you've got experience here. Can we partner somehow? And can you help my group really try to figure out how to implement this? Because there's a lot of interest here, but I don't have the experience to do it. And frankly, I don't feel comfortable and I feel a little bit unethical telling them, hey, I'm going to take your money and help you do this, which I do appreciate that he actually felt that way. Not everybody does. Sometimes people will write the books, take your money and tell you, yeah, just follow the book advice. He sent me a copy of the book. He said, let me check out what AI is producing when it comes to short-term rental investing. And it was actually pretty good. It's not exactly everything that we would do, and I would have changed a few things, but it was pretty dang good. And what was scary about it is that because it's so good, it can be a little misleading for those of you that are not inside of the world of short-term rental investing, or somebody that doesn't have experience that's looking for guidance. Is they have the knowledge, but he doesn't have the experience, and he's like, what do we do here? And so we ended up saying, hey, listen, we'll do a webinar. We'll go in, we'll talk to the group, we'll figure out what we can do. Ultimately, if they really want help implementing, we can help them be that mentor for them, because he didn't feel comfortable doing it because he didn't have the experience. And so I tell you that story because a lot of us are online right now getting bombarded with everything under the sun. I'm not just talking about our world. I'm talking about everything. I'm looking at solar energy right now for my home, and there's all kinds of information on what you should do with solar energy and generators and different things that you can do. And so, but I'm really, because I know that experience is so important. Now what I'm doing is being really careful and trying to find some guidance on somebody that has a lot of experience in that world before I make my decision. Lots of knowledge, lots of things out there. In fact, I could probably go get a lot of the knowledge on my own through ChatGPT or any of the other AI tools like this guy did, and have, very high level of knowledge, but there's got to be some experience to implement, right? These are big decisions. When you are seeking mentors and guidance, knowledge is important, but you have to figure out, does your mentor and does that person actually have experience in what you're trying to do? They might be book smart about it. They might have actually written a book about it, but do you know if they actually have the experience to do so, right? When I've been in real estate 23 years now, full-time investor. I went through a hiccup in 2009. And in 2009, I lost everything. I happened to have a real estate license. I had never sold real estate, though. I was always been an investor, but I needed to make some money. I didn't have any money at the time to go buy a property. And so I needed to make some quick money to figure out what I could do. I could have easily looked in the mirror and said, I know real estate better than most agents do. I'm just going to be my own. I'll just do it. I don't need to learn how to sell real estate because I've been in the real estate game now at that point for almost 10 years. And so I could have easily looked in the mirror and said, I already understand real estate. I should be able to transfer that understanding as an investor and go become an agent. I didn't know. What I did is I said, listen, I have the kind of the foundational knowledge and a pretty good understanding of real estate because I've been doing this full time for a long time. Lost everything and said, I need to go sell real estate. So I went in and I found mentors who sold real estate, who their job was being real estate agents. And so I went and said, okay, I'm going to find who I feel like was the best. And I started to search who has the most experience, not somebody has the best training program. I wanted to know who has actually done this. I wanted to know who was at the top. I found a guy by the name of Craig Proctor. He was the #1 real estate agent in the world, in North America, for 2 of the past 5 years that I was looking. So I was like, okay, he's doing this, right? He has a big training program as well, but he's actually doing this, has a lot of experience. I chose him as a mentor. We ended up, it completely accelerated my progress as an agent. My wife and I, we won a Rookie of the Year award. We became nominated as a large sales team of the year. After 2 years of being in business, built up enough money, got right back into the investing game. And then, we don't sell real estate anymore. But my point is, I went in and found somebody with experience, not just looking for the knowledge, because I knew real estate, right? The other thing is, when I started building my coaching platform, I didn't know how to coach. I didn't know how to become a mentor other than just sharing my process, but really going out online and saying, okay, what are we really going to do with Vodacy and how are we going to grow it as an actual company and take our experience in investing, transfer that to where other people could leverage our knowledge and experience and the time that we put into this. But I didn't know how to do that. I knew how to do the process. I know how to get success investing in short-term rentals, but I didn't know really what people were looking for when it comes to a mentorship platform. So I went out and found coaches that could teach me how to do that and be the best coach and mentor that we could possibly be. We went out and found some that we thought were the best, hired them to help us do this, and we turned it into an 8-figure a year company. And so it's the point is, I wouldn't be able to do any of that. All of the knowledge is out there, but I was able to do it and really accelerate our progress because we went out and found people with experience. And so be really, really careful when you're seeking out mentors. Is what is more important, the knowledge or the experience? Experience is going to trump knowledge all day, every day. And you want somebody with experience, not just in the flash of the pan experience. Look for somebody with a long runway, right? How long have they been in the game doing the thing that you're wanting to do, right? If you're looking at us, we have people call us all the time and they say, hey, Shawn, I want to get into the short-term rental game. I'm looking to co-host arbitrage. That's not what we do. We promote the ownership model. I help people who want to buy properties, own properties. And so we turn more people away than we accept because they don't fit the criteria of what we actually do. So they're saying, hey, you know the short-term rental game. That's true. We do know the short-term rental game. But guess what? I don't make money co-hosting. I don't make money in arbitrage. Not that those are bad side hustles, but that's what they are. They're side hustles. Those are businesses that people are building, right? They're becoming a management partner for somebody. I hire co-hosts. I hire people when it's, to manage our properties that are actually really, really good. They're some of our best relationships. It's not what I teach though. And I don't make money doing that. And so when somebody comes to me saying, hey, Shawn, I want you to teach me this, and this is what I want to do with it. If it's not what I do, I don't have the experience to teach them that, right? I might have the knowledge base. It's what we understand. We understand exactly what goes into that. We hire those people all the time, but I'm not going to teach somebody on something that I don't do. So be really, really careful that you really niche down, not just somebody in the short-term rental game. If you're looking for help in short-term rentals, find somebody that is, if you're looking for getting into the co-hosting game, find somebody that co-hosts. If you're looking to do arbitrage, find somebody who makes money doing arbitrage. Make sure they're doing it for a long time. If you're looking for the ownership game, call us or somebody else that does the ownership. But that's what, it doesn't matter what you're doing. When you're evaluating knowledge versus experience, understand if somebody is telling you, oh, you have to do this I have this little secret, then unless you pay me, you're never going to know this secret. It's something I completely undiscovered or I discovered by accident, and now it's making me millions of dollars. That would be a red flag for me. One, they probably do have knowledge that you don't know. You don't know everything right now. Like I always say, you don't know what you don't know, but there's nothing secret under the sun, right? There's not a lot of new ideas out there. It's taking and looking for those people that are saying, I'm going to help you implement that knowledge and take that experience and so that you can really implement it into what you're trying to do. Because knowledge is one thing, builds a foundation. You have to have it. We have it. We have a masterclass. It's what the baseline of what we build our blueprint on, right? Knowledge is important. I'm not saying knowledge isn't important, but when it really comes down to actually implementing and taking action, getting past sticking points and actually making progress, experience is going to be key and it's going to be critical as you start to run down the road. So experience versus knowledge, which one wins? I absolutely say experience wins all day, every day. So if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Let us know and give me your point of view on this as well. Those of you that join me, I know how valuable your time is. Thank you always for listening and being the best part of this show. I always ask one thing in return. If you got value out of this or you think somebody else would, share it, like it. Give us a thumbs up. If you have more than 30 seconds, leave us a review and give us this on either YouTube or the podcast platform that you're listening on. Those things do help us grow the show. You guys know I don't run any ads on these shows. And so we always appreciate just to thank you by saying, hey, we like it and give us more of it if you do get value out of these shows. So again, thanks for being here. And I always leave you with one challenge at the end of every single episode. And that is go pick one thing that you can do today to start living that life you don't want to take a vacation from. Cheers, my friends.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Vacation Rental Revolution podcast. Share this with other people you think need to hear about it. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. Hey Grace, is there a website? Yes! For more amazing content and expert advice, visit Vodyssey.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.